Apparently it's spring and we're getting the first real snowstorm of the year here in Boston, and I'm looking at a sea of pink. So I picked up most of the Dior collection, as I promised on my low buy. Chanel, Dior, Guerlain, Tom Ford, the cores of the luxury market, if you will, I will be picking up from here on until May when I go off my low buy. So I have 3 quads. There is a 4th quad that has, it's called the Isetan special release, and that one has like the design elements embossed on it of the buildings. I do not have that one. I don't think that's in the US right now. It is in the UK. But I picked up the other 3. I have 6 new maximizers. I have 2 new blushes. I have 2 new reformulated lipsticks. And I have a new Addict as well. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you all 3 quads. I'm wearing one of them now, the one that you voted to do first. I had a poll on Instagram and a poll on my Instagram media channel. I'll show you both blushes and put them on, and then I will swatch each luminizer for you, and then in the coming weeks I'll make sure that I wear the different luminizers so you can see what they look like. First, talk about the quads. Okay, so the one that I have on my eyes today, this is a Mimirose. And this is the one that everybody said, this is the one that was voted for to do first. So this is the eye look I have on today, and I have recorded that, so I will show it to you. That's Mimirose. Then there's the Spring collection, and the Spring collection has embossing on it. There's pink organza, and I will be doing swatch comparisons coming up soon. And then the other one is Popaline or Popaline Peach. There was a Popaline, which was very, very pink, which I also own. And again, I will be doing swatch comparisons to them. So for the Spring collection, I'm going to put up pictures right now of the 2 quads up close so you can see what the embossing looked like before I messed with it. The embossing goes pretty quick, guys. So if you're buying these things for just the embossing, in my opinion, it's not really worth it unless you're never going to use it, because the embossing goes like that. So interestingly enough, the 2 quads, the Spring quads, and I don't know what this Mimirose is other than a special collection, but the Spring quads, the Popaline and the organza, those, they're very pretty. I'm trying to think of the nicest way to say this, but they don't have a lot of color to them. They have more than the Mimirose does, and again, we'll get into that in a second. The Mimirose is practically not there, but they aren't particularly pigmented. But I will say the Spring releases are more pigmented than the Mimirose. Let's have the swatches go up of, let's first do the Popaline Peach, which is the deepest, believe it or not. And then we'll have the pink organza go up. Now we have the Mimirose, and let me just show you it on my eyes first. Now, if you say to me, wow, it looks like one's maybe 2 shimmery colors and then a little bit of purple, you would be right. And I'll make sure I do a close-up at this part. It's really hard to see all the shades that I put on my eyes. So let's just get into it. So I took the middle shade and tried to use that as a transition. It's a satin. It has some luminescence to it. The purple, the deeper shade, I think would probably be better for a transition shade, but I was trying to use all of the shades. And I think maybe that middle shade would work best on the eye. That would be the way I would do it next time. But I used it in the transition. And then I started to use, there's a peachy and a pinky shade, and they look very, very similar. And I started to put them on the eye, and honestly, you cannot tell the difference between the 2 of them. They look basically the same on the eye. One looks like it's a little bit more of a shimmer, one looks a little bit more like it's a satin, but they're both luminescent, shimmery light shades that look very, very similar to one another. Like very, very close. Then I took that, it has like an opalescent, it has a little bit of purple to it shade, and put that in the middle of the eye to kind of give it some, you know, differentiation, to give it some depth, to give it some, something. And you can see it when I put it on, like you can see that little lavender opalescent effect on the middle of the eye. Then I took the deepest shade in here, which is a cool toned, mushroomy, purpley brown, but it's not particularly impactful. And I use that to deepen up the crease, put it on the outer corners of my eye, lined my lashes with it. And, you know, it does create, at the end of the day, a pretty spring pinky purple look. Mimirose, okay. But I feel like you could do this with 2 shades, maybe 3. Because there is a little bit of difference between what's on my mobile eyelid here and then the color on the inside on both eyes, and then this deeper purple that I've used on the outside. But for the most part, this quad to me is, you know, it's okay, but I don't really like it. There are ones like Grand Ball where there's only 1 deep shade and the rest are sparkly shades. But that one, the deep shade in there is so deep that you can intensify or less or de-intensify the look depending on how you want to do it. This one, honestly, there's only certain things you can do with this, in my opinion. And I just think it's very limiting. Now, if you're somebody who loves the very light, and I mean almost not there look, opalescent kind of eye with a little bit of deepening, which is really what you're going to get from this pretty much whatever you do, then this is right up your alley. This is perfect. But it just seems like a lot of money to pay for, you know, not that much is really what I'm saying. And I just don't think it's even that flattering on me personally. So this is not a favorite. Again, it's not a bad quad. I just, you know, I think you could get a much more impactful, similar look by using cool tones in like is it Stella Doll? I always get the name wrong. For Yves Saint Laurent, or one of the Hermes, or one of the Clé de Pose, and it's still gonna be a light look, but it's gonna be more impactful than this. I feel like one of the shimmery shades in here should have been like a wet, impactful shade, and they're not. They're just shimmer, and so you don't get much out of it. Again, if that's what you really like, then great, but I think for most people, it's gonna be just eh. I'll put up the swatches one more. And as I said before, the Popeline Peach actually has the most pigment to it. At least that's what it looks like. We'll see when I try it on. All right, let's try the blushes. Pull my hair back so you can see it. 2 blushes. We have Rose Popeline, which is very light, and I will swatch it. And we have Delicate Rose, which is the one with the embossing. Let's take a look at these. Let's do Rose Popeline first. This might look chalky on people with deeper skin because it is a whitish pink. On me, I think it's gonna look fine, but just to put that out there. All right, and then Delicate Rose, ruining the embossing. Let's Delicate Rose. Let's compare it right now to, this is the 290 Signature Shimmer. This is the one that has the embossing on it, the Dior embossing on it. Let's just see what that one looks like. That's the interesting. It's like the Rose Popeline, like in color, but this is much whiter. It has like a white cast, the new one. That's so interesting. I'm gonna pull out the Precious Rose. Let's take a look. Believe it or not, it has less. Okay, So this is interesting. Okay, so this is Precious Rose. This is the one that came out for holiday. This one here is the new one, Rose Popeline, that's a matte. Like I said, it has like a white cast to it. This one is the Delicate Rose, which is a satin. Precious Rose is also a satin. They are very similar. I think this one's pinker. This one's more peachy. And then this is the special edition. This is the Acetone collection. That one has like an opalescence. It's signature and it's a shimmer. That's interesting. So let's use the Rose Popeline, the matte one first, and see what it does on me. Like I said, I think this is gonna be, I think this might have a white cast, but I don't think you'll be able to see it on my skin. We'll see. I'm using the Wayne Goss. This is the F5. Yeah, on me, it's just a baby pink. But definitely has a whitish, it looks similar on me as the signature Acetone shimmer. It's got a similar vibe, similar look. But you can see how that looks almost whitish, even on me. So on a deeper skin tone, I think that's gonna look pretty white. Let's try the Delicate Rose. Wipe off the brush. Yeah, this looks very similar to the Precious Rose to me, which is one of my favorites. So I'm not upset that it looks like that, but I think if you have Precious Rose, I don't know, when I do the look with the next quad, which is going to be the organza, pink organza, because you voted that second, I will do a side-by-side between Delicate Rose and the Precious Rose from before, because I don't think they're that different. I think there's some difference, but not a lot. So yeah, I mean, they're both really nice, and on me, I think they look good, but I just think, I don't know, I think the matte one, the light pink one, I think that's gonna have a white cast on people who have a deeper skin tone. And then on someone like me, it's really nice if you're looking for a very light look, but if you want more than that, it's not gonna give you much. Again, I like it. And then the Delicate Rose reminds me of the Precious Rose. I will do a side-by-side when I do the pink organza, so you can see it. Interesting. At the moment, I have on one of the luminizers. I have 6. I will swatch them all for you, but they are hard to tell. You kind of have to see them on the lips. I will try to get that done soon. This is, the shade that I have on at the moment is 067 Shimmer Rose Gold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these on my hand and hopefully you can see something. And like I said, I will do a comparison where I put all my lip maximizers on my lips. I'm sure I have more than 20 of them now, and that will be coming. So that's 067, that is Shimmer Rose Gold. Next to it, I'm gonna do 065. This is the Icy Blue. Now, I assume on the lips, this is gonna give you just a cooling look, like an icy cool to your lips, and would add a coolness to a shade that maybe was too warm. So if you have a lipstick that's too warm for you, put this over it and you're gonna get that icy, cool, bluish cast. I don't think it's gonna make your lips look blue, but you never know. We'll have to find out. Next to that, I will do, this is 060. This is Shimmery Spice, which I can tell you was already a favorite. That's Shimmery Spice. Then I'm going to do probably the most unique, if you will, of these. This is 203 Holo Yuzu. So holographic yuzu. And again, opposite to the blue, I would think this would give kind of a holographic warm, like a yellowish tinge to a lipstick that maybe was too cool leaning for you. .066 in Shimmer Candy, which is a very icy pink. And last but not least, we have 056, which is a frosted pink. That's the frosted pink. That is the Shimmer Rose Gold. That is the Icy Blue. That is the Shimmery Spice. That is the Holo Yuzu. And that is the Frosted Pink. So they are like totally different shades. But except for the spice, I don't know how really different some of these will look on the lips, but we will find out. They're all pretty though. I like them. All right, I love the maximizers, guys. It's my favorite formula, which is why I ended up buying the 3 that were just released and then the 3 that were released over the holiday because I was just like, I love them all. So before I'm gonna also talk about the lipsticks. I do want to mention, I also have the Miss Dior Solid perfume. Now, I've been trying to figure this out for a little bit, but I haven't been able to spend a lot of time on it because of work. So if you all know, put it in the comments. Let me know so I can learn from you. This is the Miss Dior perfume. This is an eau de parfum. It's a mini Miss perfume. And what I don't know is why there are 2 of them. I have seen pictures. There are 2. And they are different designs. Are they different perfumes? Is one an eau de toilette and is one a eau de parfum? I don't know. But this is an eau de parfum and it is a solid perfume. Now, back in the day, I had a lot of solid perfumes. I had Coco Chanel that came in and it was like a heavy metal, and I don't know what happened to it because I didn't throw it away, but I can't find it. It was a heavy metal, it looked like a compact, and it swung open. And there was a solid Coco Chanel in there. It was like a powder. And I loved that thing. I went through 2 refills or 3 refills of it. Again, I don't know where it is. I used to have numerous solid perfumes that I really, really liked. And then solid perfumes just kind of went away. So this is the first solid perfume that I've bought in a very long time. And frankly, it's the first one that I've seen that looked, kind of different and cool. So it looks like a lipstick, basically. It just snaps in there and you snap it closed. And it has the houndstooth and then the Christian Dior on the front of it. And again, this is the Miss Dior scent, which isn't my favorite. I'm going to be honest. I do like it. It's just not my favorite scent by Dior, not by a long shot. But I really love this case, and I love the idea that you could travel with this because it's a solid. You don't have to, put it in a little baggie when you're traveling because it's not liquid. It doesn't spill all over your purse. Now that I have an Hermes Kelly bag, I'd rather put that in it so I don't get perfume everywhere. But I don't know what the other one is. And like I said, I've seen pictures, but I haven't had time to research it. So if anybody out there already knows, certainly let me know. That would be great. I would appreciate it. In the meantime, I'll try to figure it out. But I don't know if one's a different perfume or a different, like I said, a toilette versus a parfum. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I love that idea. And if it is a different scent, or if they come out with more in different scents, I would definitely buy those because I really love a solid perfume. I think it's, for my lifestyle anyway, I think it's great. So 2 lipsticks. So these are the new Dior lipsticks. They're reformulated and they have the new cases. You've got basically the canage kind of design at the top that they have on some of the bags, and it's silver. And then you've got the CD like you do on the cases, and it's magnetic closure. I have little hairs. I don't know why the little hairs are here. But the shades that I picked up, and I did not pick up any mattes because Matte is not my thing. I picked up $4.19, which is a Bois Rose, which is a satin. And then I picked up $2.40 J'adore, which is also a satin. So I'm gonna show you J'adore. This is the shade. That's J'adore. And here is Bois Rose. That's what it looks like. So hard to tell online. But these are both good shades for me, actually. I did well. I think I'll put this, I think I'll put the J'adore on today with the look because Bois Rose is a little bit more, it's a little browner. But both good shades for me. And then I picked up an Addict shade. Now, I think this one is new. It seemed new to me. I don't own it and I hadn't seen it before. If I'm wrong, you guys will all let me know. This one is Coral Delight in 658. Now, I don't generally do corals, but if I am going to do a coral, the spring is going to be the time I do it, spring and summer. So I was like, all right, I will get it. So it's actually, I think, a very pretty coral. Like it's a pinky coral. It's not too orange. And actually, of the three, I mean, I think actually any of these would go with this look, but I'm going to choose the J'adore. I think you could do the others. You know, again, with the Mimirose, I don't think it's bad, guys. It's not like it's, you know, sometimes I have been accused of being too harsh. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm trying to be honest about the money you're spending and what you're getting for it. If this was $20, I'd be like, it's fine. It's good for $20. For what we pay for these, you know, for these products, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we should just get a lot more than sometimes we do. Maybe that's just me. But let me just take a look at the price of the eyeshadows, because I think Mimirose was more expensive for some reason. So Mimirose is $68, and usually they're $65. So for some reason, Mimirose is $68. So it is $3 more. $68 is just a lot of money for something that kind of is pretty, but I'm kind of like, meh. All right, so let's put on the J'adore and we'll try out the new formula. First of all, this has a scent. I've smelled this scent before, but I can't think of where. Maybe in one of the perfumes? I like it, but it's definitely a scent. Okay. It feels really nice on the lips. I did have a maximizer on. It had been on for 2 hours, so I feel like, you know, that was enough time. It definitely looks different on my lips, of course, than it does on my hand. But it's a pretty color and it does feel nice. The thing about the lipsticks and the fact that they've been reformulated is really how they wear and how they feel after a while. At the moment, they feel really nice and silky. Not as creamy, more silky than creamy. But they feel very nice. I'll have to see how it wears. I'm actually, I have date night tonight, so I will, I'll let you know, but I'm literally just sitting here thinking how it feels. It feels very nice. It doesn't feel, like I said, it doesn't feel overly creamy though. It doesn't feel overly moisturizing. It feels like more of a silk. But that could be because the maximizer was on for, you know, quite some time, so that sometimes that does change the feel. So I'll keep trying all of these shades as I'm doing the other quads. So that's where we are right now, guys. I did not put any bronzer on because I wanted to just, you know, get the pink look. My favorite thing is the Delicate Rose blush, but I think it's very close to the Precious Rose blush. The lipstick color, I really like the lipstick color, but I mean, I just used it, so we'll see how it wears and how it feels. The quad, the Mimirose, again, if you like a very shimmery light look with one shade that can deepen it up, then this is the quad for you. But for me, for $68, this isn't even my favorite color story, so I'm kind of like, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe this will become like the quad I use all the time. It can happen. I didn't like Grand Ball when I first tried it, so, you know, we'll see. But at the moment, I'm just okay with it. The maximizers, I showed you all those shades. My favorite at the moment is the Spice. Not a huge shock, but I will continue to use, and I'll make sure I use like the blue one and the yellow one in the subsequent videos where I'm doing the other quads so you can see what they look like on the face. And I'll do comparisons between the Precious Rose and the Delicate Rose as well. Let me know if there's any others that you want to see in the coming videos. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye!